Hey guys, if you haven't already, give the video a like, subscribe to my channel. This is a what if series and I'll be doing more down the road, so stay tuned and thanks for watching.
Hey guys, welcome back to What If Deku Had the Power of the Infinity Stones. So here's the thing. As the story progresses, I'm going to make this very interesting for you guys as we're now in the USJ arc, and it's a bunch of elements that are going to play out in this arc very different from the original canon. For instance, Deku and Asdev, you're going to see them do some impressive techniques and really display what they can do with their power. And I know you guys, some of you don't like the direction I'm going in and some of you do. Some of you are quite neutral. Hey, listen, I like some of you that don't like it. I like some of you that do like it. And I like some that are neutral. That lets me know that I have bad, good, and in the middle, balance. The scales are balanced. So that's very good for this anime because the scales are balanced. Everything, well, not balanced, mostly, yes. Well, balance. Put it like that. They're balanced. Anyway, so I'm going to make this very exciting for you guys, and I'm going to be changing a lot of things. So you're going to see this Nomu in this anime. You're going to see what's going to happen to this Nomu. And right here is going to get graphic. I'm going to be very graphic in my further what ifs. So without any further ado, let's get into the story. So we start off with Asdev showing Deku some of her abilities and powers. She even showed Deku a transformation that she used on him. It wasn't similar to Deku's power, at least Deku knew that. And Deku commented on it saying that, so this power that you have, it has nothing to do with a copy quirk. Neither does it have anything to do with negativity. Well, it kind of does. I kind of contradicted myself there. It kind of does. Your power is that of emotions, isn't it, Esdesu? And you also have your mother's ice, but it's very stronger than your mother's ice. As not only can you freeze over things, but you can stop time with it. And your emotions quirk gives you the power to not only use the world's emotion as your own charging battery, but you're empowered by everything a person is feeling out there. It's like this world is an energy plant for you. Every day you're constantly getting stronger. Yeah, you can say that, Izuku. Every day I do constantly get stronger. I train. If I haven't trained as hard as I did and realized the power that I had, I probably would have been as weak as an ant, not knowing how to use my power. And then, at the least common moment when I would have lost someone, I would have snapped and destroyed everything. So it's good that I got my power under control, because if I didn't, nothing would be left. And I think a person like you would have came along and destroyed me, she said with a smile. And Izuku just looks at her and say, why do you say that so happily? That's very sadistic. And she says, well, I have some sadistic thoughts on my mind. As when I look at villains, I don't think I'd give them second chances. I think I just want to eradicate them. Because what's stopping them from doing evil things again? Hurting people, killing people, taking people away from their friends and family. Like that happened to me once ago. A villain killed my best friend right in front of me. And that's why you're training so hard? Sorry for studying there. So that's why you're training so hard? Yes, Izuku. I have to train. I have to become stronger. And I only like fighting those who are a challenge, as I don't feel like it's necessary to raise my fist at an opponent that's not worth my time. You be wise to hear those words. So, are you ready to spar? So, with this new form that Esdev has taken, which she showed a new transformation to Izuku, the form was it made Esdev eyes turn like blue with this black. So you seen how Akime eyes turned when Esdev and her were fighting? So Esdev eyes went black and her pupils just went to like a dark blue, sort of like Vegeta's when he fought Jiren when he turned into his new form. And you seen this darkish blue aura radiating over Esdev with these black shocks, sort of similar to Super Saiyan 2. Anyway, Esdef and Izuku were thrashing it out, battling, training. Esdef threw a midnight blast, like it's like this pinkish bluish blast that shot at Izuku, and Izuku shot an infinity beam at her, and it clashed, releasing like a power struggle, like a beam struggle. And let's see, who would I want to win that beam struggle? Izuku, because Izuku used the power of the Power Stone, and basically, well, he used his power increase. Let's call it that. Power increase, time increase. Well, he used his power increase and overpowered Esdef's blast and blasted her out of from where she was at. She was like in the sky. Yeah, Esdef has a flight ability. Key training. Yeah. Key training. So, Esdef, he blasted Esdef out of the sky, and as she was falling, he kicked her dead to the ground and told Esdef that you caught me off guard the first time, but this time you're not gonna catch me off guard anymore. As I correct those mistakes that happened to me, there will be no mistakes or errors happening to me like that again. As Esdef rushed at me, Izuku, and started throwing off flurry of punches, left and right, kicks, sword swings, and all that kind of stuff. And Izuku was dodging it left, right, caught her sword, and kicked her back into a tree. I told you, that's not gonna work anymore. You have to try to unconsciously hit me. There's this technique out there that allows your body to move freely. It likes to move without thought. You would be so much faster. I believe you can't even touch me. And I've even managed to sign your sweet shirt. Or can I say your cleavage? And Esdef looks down and she just her face turns red and she just punches Izuku dead in the face. And yeah, she says this phrase, I bet that caught you off guard. And Izuku just rubs his nose as it was bleeding and he says, well, I was expecting that. And I let you hit me because I quite deserved it. Anyway, I think that's enough training for today, Esdesu. We should head back home. And Esdef blushes and says, so you don't want to train for a little bit longer? I mean, as Izuku just puts his hands behind his head and says, well, standing up. You know how Naruto do when he put his hands behind his head? He just says, well, we have that USJ arc ready. Going on tomorrow. So we probably need to prepare for that and get our rest because we're going to be saving a lot of people tomorrow. And she goes to say, so you already know about the mission, don't you, Izuku? Well, it's not that hard due to the fact that I have mind increase. So with my mind, I can basically learn a lot of things of this world. I even know all the secrets of this world. It's nothing no one can hide from me. It's nothing anyone can hide from me. But I am interested in finding someone that is very stronger than me. I don't like being this strong. I always want to find a challenge, and that's what I'm searching for. And probably you were the closest person to a challenge. But I don't see you that way. I kind of see you as becoming something more, even potentially becoming someone I truly care about in the future. Esdef blushes, but Izuku just smiles and laughs and says, we need to head home, as he grabs her hand and they run off to their houses. So, Deku wakes up in the morning. He gets dressed and he rushes downstairs, but he rushes to his mother's lab as his mother was doing a lot of technical stuff. She was doing a lot of work and she had a lot of new equipment. And Deku looked around and said, so you're building something? And she looked at Deku and said, yes. I'm gonna try to make something very, very incredible, as I was on a mission. And there's a lot of things that played out very differently on that mission with my team. Mom, your team is the Avengers, right? Yeah. That's what we call ourselves. The Avengers, I guess. But Izuku, I have something to tell you. While I was out on my mission, there was this woman who played a trick on my mind. She kind of did something with my head, and I was suddenly in this world where everyone was dead. The streets were painted with blood and carnage. I watched people get cut down, tortured. I've seen a lot of horrific images of my friends. I don't want to see something like that. I don't want to experience something like that. I want this world to be protected. I want everyone to be safe. And Deku walks over to his mother and says, I have faith in you. I don't doubt any of your creations, Mom. So whatever you're creating, if it's for the benefit of the world, then I'm on your side. He hugs his mother and rushes off to school, flying. And thank you for the person that mentioned that the mind stone only gave Vision telepathic abilities, like he was able to lift things, phase through things, and fly. That much I'm giving Deku. So it doesn't give him superhuman strength. That's the power increase that gives him that kind of superhuman power. Anyway, so Deku's off to school, and he runs into Kacchan. With him and Kacchan, Deku was fascinating over Kacchan's new outfit, similar to how the outfit looks in the manga. The new outfit, not the old one, but the new one. Similar how to that one looks. So, Deku was fascinated over Kacchan's outfit, and Kacchan was just basically seeing how Deku's training was going with the new chick. And Deku was just telling Kacchan, yeah, her training's all coming alright. I guess she's a very strong girl. Very strong indeed. I fear her power could be like rival mine. Have you told her that? No, I didn't. Because if I give her that kind of idea, she's going to want to fight me every day to prove and see if she can ever beat me. And that's a bad thing. How? That's a hot girl, dude. As you never heard Bakugo talk like this, but this is a calm, collected Bakugo, and that's the way it's going to keep it. But anyway, he's going to have his quirks. He's going to have his moments, but as of right now, they're just talking and having a moment. But that's a hot girl. So you should at least just tell her, Deku. Yeah, you don't know this girl, Kacchan. She's very persistent. If I tell her, then nothing's stopping her from fighting me every day, every minute, every hour on the hour. You're saying that like it's an annoyance. Oh, it is. Very annoying. Very annoying. But that's what's most attractive about her, is her annoyance. Anyway, they got onto the bus, and as Kacchan and Deku were still talking, Esdeath was by her lonesome, but she was approached by Ochaku, and Esdeath sensed that Ochaku, she was told that Ochaku had a quirk called Zero Gravity by her father, which Endeavor did a lot of studying on Ochaku, and he kind of wanted to train her due to the fact that her quirk could be potentially strong. Like, she could be like a silent type, or like a ninja that comes out of nowhere and just thrash, like fucks you up. Seriously, Ochaku can be very fucking deadly. Now, you see them running. Well, not running. You see Esdeath doing like these motions, like these training things, and telling Ochaku about different fighting styles that are out there. And Ochaku's just listening and was interested in the way that Esdeath was explaining this. And she even goes to tell Ochaku that, you know, your quirk could be very strong. I look forward to being good friends with you, Ochaku Uraraka. And she would go to smile and blushes and say, same here, Esdesu. And they would arrive at the USJ Arc, and Froppy would have her same conversation with all the students, only this time she would not like single out Bakugo. She would just say, and I think Bakugo up there has the potential to become a great hero too. And Bakugo would just say, huh? What do you mean? I see that you're always calm. You're not all too brash, or the way that the middle school teachers would describe you. Yeah, I kind of let that part of myself go a long time ago. Whatever, you damn loser. And as Bakugo just goes to look back out the window. So, all the students exit off the bus with 13 escorting them into the USJ. And Shoto Aizawa goes to explain that the students will be doing hero rescue missions, and Esdeath would tell Izuku, you nipped that one in the bud. And Izuku would go to say, I told you, you really doubted that I have a mind increase? And Esdeath would go to just look away and start whistling. And Izuku would just scratch his head with his eyes closed, looking at her with a smile, saying, she really did doubt that I have that power. This girl really is strange. So with that, all the students were in there and getting the details explained to them, but then they see this portal opening up. As the portal opened up, they see all these villains come out. They see this giant 7'9" tall behemoth come out with his brain exposed. They seen this like misty guy with this childlike guy with gray hair up like long to his shoulders come out with hands all over his body, and Shoto Aizawa then goes into a panic and say, those are villains. 13, protect all the kids now. As Shoto Aizawa was sitting there and he goes into battle mode, and Esdef and Izuku, they yawn with Bakugo. He's getting excited and saying finally a challenge, and he says, no, stand back, these are villains. And all the students, they go to open their eyes and say, villains? Yeah. Izuku looks back at them. He said, yeah, all these guys are villains. And I wish I would have known that. I kind of didn't think about that at the time. I kind of didn't have my mind on it. But that should mean no problem, as we're going to be able to get back to our class studies. What do you say, Shoto Aizawa? He looks at Izuku and said, what are you talking about? Esdef come up to Shoto and he said, if me and Izuku takes out all these villains, can we get back to what we're supposed to do today? And it won't ever be heard of. We will keep it under wraps. And Shoto will go to say, no, stand back. And he says, trust me, we got this. As Deku and Esdef rushes past Shoto like with such speed and starts bodying each and every villain out there, with Shoto right behind Esdef saying that you're not gonna show me up, sister, and Bakugo right behind Izuku saying, I'm here to back you up. And all of them bodied all the individual villains that were there. Kurogiri didn't even have enough time to even like send his like teleport all the students away. For Izuku, since that he was gonna do that, he grabbed Bakugo by the hand and threw Bakugo over there, and Bakugo landed on top of Kurogiri, grabbed him and thrusted him to the ground and said, you move, I'm gonna blow your ass up. I want you to move. Please move. They're gonna be picking your body all over this place. And then Kurogiri looked at Bakugo's eyes, and they seen these vein lights. They seen a very sinister look on his face. As Esdef, Izuku, and Shoto, with all the other students looking, finished up with the rest of the villains, they looked at Tomura Shigaraki and the Nomu, and he just said, Nomu, get them. As the Nomu rushes at Bakugo and hits Bakugo off of Kurogiri and rushes at Esdef and Izuku. With Esdef and Izuku, he threw the Nomu charged back. So you know how Luffy did in the anime, where he would charge, like push back both of his arms and release them like a organ cannon or whatever it was called, like Kong organ or something like that. But he would like stretch his arms into each other and just release them with such force, but it was two punches, like he's punching you with both his fists at the same time. So that's what the Nomu did. He thrust forward two punches with Izuku and Esdef catching them both, and it will go out to play just like it did, just like Naruto and Sasuke when they were bodying Momo Otsutsuki. So it will go out the same way as Deku and Esdef instantly just powered up, and they started punching the Nomu left and right, kicking him all over the place, sending for like various amounts of attacks at this guy. He couldn't block it. He tried his best to do so. Every attack that was coming landed directly, as Esdef would go to say that this guy has the power of shock absorption. We have to speed up Izuku. And Esdef took some of the world's emotion, and it was basically, she took all of the emotion that was feeling in the room, and it was fear. And that just made her smile very sinister as she rushed the Nomu. She told Deku, I got this. And Deku just says, knock yourself out. And she rushed the Nomu and pulled out her Reaper and started slashing at the Nomu. She cut off his arm, cut off his leg, cut off his other leg, slashed across his chest, and then stabbed him dead in the heart. And then she said, ice in She said ice implode. And basically the Nomu exploded all over the place. Blood everywhere. Well, not everywhere. I'm not going to make it that graphic, but just blood all over the floor. And she just froze all the remaining pieces of the Nomu and turned them into mist. And then she looked at Tomura Shigaraki. With Kurogiri rushed over and grabbed him, and they both left and escaped. And Kurogiri saying, that wasn't supposed to happen. Who were those two? And Tomura was just scratching his neck, and he just yelled out and screamed, that bitch! She messed everything up. She messed it up. I was supposed to kill All Might. I was supposed to kill her. I was supposed to kill him. I was supposed to kill them all. She cheated. They cheated. And Kurogiri just said, calm down, Tomura. It's not over yet. We still have a fighting chance. We just need to regroup and think of a strategy. We have more recruits that we can add to our team. And Tomura would go out, let out a sigh. You're right. It's best to let the boss know about this inconvenience that happened. Anyway, I'm going to tell All For One about what happened today and how I failed. But I won't fail again. That's a promise. As Esdef and Izuku were in there, and he looked at Esdef, and so you just empowered yourself by everybody's fear, didn't you? And she would go to say, yeah. I like using fear, because it just makes my bloodlust go so high. Yeah, I can see that because you knocked every student out in here. Now it is canceled. What do you mean? Your bloodlust and killer instinct were so high. Every student in here were knocked out. And that's actually a good thing, because what you did to that Nomu was very, very gruesome and horrific. Well, he had the power of a healing speed, so I had to think of something. And the only thing I could think about is increasing my speed and my sword play, as I'm very fast with this device here. This sword. And she put her sword away, and she helped she helped the students, she helped principals, she helped 13 and Shoto Aizawa clean up the mess that she made. Izuku took all the students back to the bus and all that kind of stuff. He picked everybody up as all of them were knocked out. And Kachan, he was just there. He rubbed his head as he woke up and said, oh, what the hell happened? Kachan wasn't knocked out. Kachan was just created into a wall, and he got up and said, oh, my head. Damn, that guy hits hard. I gotta keep training. A shot like that would have ended me. Sorry about that, but the only thing it did right now was just knock me out. Oh, I have so far to go. Damn it. But anyway, as we're now wrapping up where the USJ arc went, how everything played out differently, this is me explaining all the elements in it and what Izuku and Deku did. As I said, they were going to do some impressive things. Impressive by this much. I said impressive by they were going to body the Nomu. And Izuku, when they were fighting the Nomu, he did a new technique that I want to comment. I want you guys to tell me what this technique is. As when Esdef and Izuku were going left to right with the Nomu, sending out various amounts of blows, attacks, and techniques, Deku put he clenched his arm by the forearm part. He clenched his arm, grabbed his arm, and with one hand he charged up this greenish reddish energy and blasted it at the Nomu. What do you guys want that attack to be called? Let me know down in the comments below, and I will go to pick which one is the best one. And Esdef, she even did something else incredible. She put down she moved her fingers in such a weird pattern, and she lifted her hand to the air, to the sky, and you seen this fiery type of blue ball in the air, and she launched it at the Nomu. And did she say ice flames? Incinerate. And so the Nomu was taking on various amounts of damage. So I want you guys. I thought of the name Ice Flames. That's what I think it should be called. But let me, because you guys got creative minds, so you can tell me what she charged. So when she charged up, she jumped into the air and charged up a huge like spear. It wasn't that big, but it was somewhat like of a miniature spear bomb. So say for example, it was the size of like a beach ball, and but it was strong. Don't get me wrong. Cause when she hit the Nomu, when she hit the Nomu, the thing screamed out in agony. So what do you guys want that like spear to that power to be called? But anyway, that's all I have for you guys for this specific what if. Without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and I will be releasing part 7 right after. If this video gets a lot of attention to it, I will release part 7. I'm not going to set up no like goal and nothing like that. But without any further ado, you guys have a good day, a good night, and you already know the deal. Plus Ultra. Good night, guys.